Subscribe to our channel and click on the bell button to receive important financial updates faster than anybody else. Friends, welcome to another video on your channel Profit and Equities. In this video, we'll be talking about 5 small caps and 3 mid caps where Dolly Khanna has bought shares during the last quarter. Please watch this video to know more. Now the first stock on the list is Rutila Papers Limited, which is available at Rs 127.95 and the face value for it is 10. The symbol for it is RUCHIRA. Dolly Khanna's holding in this stock has gone up to 1.59% at the end of the September quarter from 1.51% at the end of the June quarter. Now this is an India-based company which is engaged in offering paper and paper products. The company is engaged in the process of manufacturing writing and printing paper and also craft paper. Now, as is evident from the 1-year chart, the company has been a dog of a stock and has not really made any wealth for its shareholders. The market cap of the company is 286.89 crores, which means that the company is a small cap one. The EPS of 16.03 translates into a very cheap price to earnings ratio of 7.98 when compared with the industry PE of 13.13. The book value of 82.47 translates into a very cheap price to book ratio of 1.55. The company has a dividend yield of 1.76%. Whereas the promoter holding for the stock stands at a figure of 61.14%. The 52-week high for the stock stands at 217.80, whereas the 52-week low is 101.05. The second stock on the list is Salam Exploration Technology Limited, which is available at Rs 211.20 and the face value for it is 10. The symbol for it is SELAN. Now, Salam Exploration Technology Limited is engaged in the business of exploration and production of oil and natural gas. The company's principal business activities includes extraction of crude oil and natural gas. As is evident from the 1-year chart, the company has been on a choppy ride and not much wealth has been created here. Dolly Khanna's stake in this company has gone up from 1.48% at the end of the June quarter to 2.22% at the end of the September quarter. The market cap of the company is 346.37 crores, which indicates that the company is a small cap one. The EPS of 20.07 translates into a price to earnings ratio of 10.52, which is largely in line with the industry PE of 11.02. The book value of 179.51 also translates into a cheap price to book ratio of 1.18. The company has a dividend yield of 2.37%, whereas the promoter holding is a bit on the lower side and stands at a figure of 27.89%. The 52-week high is 278, whereas the 52-week low for the stock stands at a figure of 175.30. The third stock on the list is Muthoot Capital Services Limited, which is available at Rs 844.30 and the face value for it is 10. The symbol for it is MUTHOOTCAP. Now, Muthoot Capital Services Limited is a deposit-taking, non-banking financial company. As is evident from the 1-year chart, the company went on an uptrend for about 3/4 into the year, but since then has started a downtrend. Dolly Khanna's stake in this company stood at 1.07% in the June quarter, whereas at the end of the September quarter, it stands at a figure of 1.19%. The market cap of the company is 1388.67 crores, which means that this stock is again a small cap one. The EPS of 47.42 translates into a very cheap price to earnings ratio of 17.80 when compared with the industry PE of 31.90. The book value of 239.51 translates into a slightly expensive price to book ratio of 3.53. The debt to equity is 3.2035, whereas the return on equity for this stock is a strong number and stands at 0.2479. The company does not pay out any dividends and the promoter holding here is a strong factor and stands at a figure of 62.49%. The 52-week high is 1300, whereas the 52-week low for the stock stands at a figure of 509.50. Now, the next company on the list is Agarwal Industries Limited, which is available at Rs 490.10 and the face value for it is 10. The symbol for it is NRAIL. Now, Agarwal Industries Limited is an India-based company which is engaged in the manufacturing of paper, paper boards and newsprint. Now, as is evident from the 1-year chart, the company went on an uptrend for the first couple of months of the year. Since then, however, it has been on a choppy ride. Dolly Khanna did not hold any stake in this company at the end of the June quarter, whereas at the end of the September quarter, her name appears as a shareholder with 1.18%. The company is a small cap with a market capitalization of 834.11 crores. The EPS of 57.50 translates into a price to earnings ratio of 8.52, which is much cheaper when compared with the industry PE of 13.13. The book value of 128.91 translates into a slightly expensive price to book ratio of 3.80. The company has a dividend yield of 0.61%, whereas the promoter holding is a very strong number and stands at a figure of 73.22%. The 52-week high for the stock stands at a figure of 616, whereas the 52-week low is at 267. The fifth stock on the list is IFP Agro-Industries Limited, which is available at Rs 580.25 and the face value for it is 10. The symbol for it is IFB Agro. Dolly Khanna's stake in this company has gone up from 1.25% at the end of the June quarter to 1.35% at the end of the September quarter. Now, IFB Agro-Industries Limited is engaged in the business of manufacturing alcohol, bottling of branded alcoholic beverages, as well as processed and packaged marine foods both for domestic and export markets. The company's segments include spirit, liquor and spirituous beverages, and marine products. Now, as is evident from the one-year chart, the company has not really performed very well and has been an underperformer throughout the entire year. The company has a market cap of 543.53 crores, which means that the company is a small cap one. The EPS of 38.56 translates into a price to earnings ratio of 15.05, which is very cheap when compared with the industry PE of 57.01. The book value of 367.59 also translates into a very cheap price to book ratio of 1.58. The company has a debt to equity of 0.1110, whereas the return on equity for this stock stands at a figure of 0.0917. The company does not pay out any dividends, and the promoter holding is a strong factor for this company and stands at a figure of 65%. The 52-week high is 948, whereas the 52-week low for the stock stands at a figure of 501.10. Now, the next stock on the list is Radico Khaitan Limited, and it's available at a price of 346.75. The face value for it is 2. The symbol for it is RADICO. Now, Radico Khaitan Limited manufactures alcohol and alcoholic products. The company operates through the segment of liquor and related products. Its Rampur distillery manufactures various brands of Indian-made foreign liquor and country liquor. It operates over 3 distilleries and 1 joint venture with total capacity of over 150 million liters. As is evident from the one-year chart, the company had been on a beautiful uptrend for the majority of the year. However, it has corrected in the recent past. The company is a mid-cap with a market capitalization of 4,622.43 crores. The EPS of 12.46 translates into a price to earnings ratio of 27.83, which is much cheaper when compared with the industry PE of 57.01. The book value of 85.68, however, translates into an expensive price to book ratio of 4.05. The debt to equity is 0.7754, whereas the return on equity for this stock is at a figure of 0.0793. The company has a dividend yield of 0.29%, whereas the promoter holding is just below average and stands at a figure of 40.38%. The 52-week high is 499, whereas the 52-week low for the stock stands at a figure of 200.50. Now, Dolly Khanna's stake in this company has gone up from 1.06% to 1.20% at the end of the September quarter. The penultimate stock on the list is Nocil Limited, which is available at Rs 147.85 and the face value for it is 10. The symbol for it is NOCIL. Now, Nocil Limited is an India-based company which offers basic organic chemicals. The company is engaged in the business of manufacturing and trading of rubber chemicals. Now, as is evident from the one-year chart, the company was on an uptrend for the first few months of the year, but since then has been on a severe downtrend. The company has a market capitalization of 2,444.87 crores, which means that the company is a borderline stock between a small cap and a mid cap. The EPS of 11.17 translates into a price to earnings ratio of 13.24, which is much cheaper when compared with the industry PE of 23.52. The book value of 62.79 is also not wildly expensive. The company has a dividend yield of 1.69%, whereas the promoter holding for this stock stands at a figure of 34.08%. The 52-week high is 236.40, whereas the 52-week low for the stock stands at 139.45. Dolly Khanna's holding in this stock has gone up to 1.98% from 1.93% at the end of the June quarter. Now, the final stock on the list is Rain Industries Limited, which is available at Rs 168.80 and the face value for it is 2. The symbol for it is RAIN. Now, Rain Industries Limited is an India-based company which is engaged in the business of manufacture and sale of carbon products, chemicals and cement. The company operates through 3 segments, which are carbon products, chemicals and cement. Now, as is evident from the one-year chart, the company has been an absolute dog of a stock with a lot of wealth erosion. This is also one of the favorite stocks of Mohanish Pabrai. The market cap of the company is 5,677.52 crores, which indicates that the company is a mid-cap one. The EPS of 30.20 translates into a price to earnings ratio of 5.60, which is dirt cheap when compared with the industry PE of 31.47. The book value of 117.26 translates into a price to book ratio of 1.4395, which is also on the cheaper side. The company has a debt to equity of 1.7241, whereas the return on equity for the stock is a solid number and stands at 0.2541. The company has a dividend yield of 1.18%, whereas the promoter holding for the stock stands at a figure of 41.10. The 52-week high for the stock stands at 475, whereas the 52-week low is at 148.50. Dolly Khanna has increased her stake from 2.57% to 2.81% at the end of the September quarter. Now friends, having watched the video, please don't treat this as a recommendation on our part. Please go ahead and do your own research. This and all other content that you see on our channel is intended to be a piece of news. Thanks for watching, and if you have not yet subscribed to this channel, please consider doing so.